Ministry of Wrestling podcast. Do you know what I think about the Ministry of Wrestling podcast? It's my favorite podcast, and I'm yet to listen to it. Right now, I will listen to it. That's the deal, right? So right now, if you're looking at my bald head and you're not listening to the Ministry of Wrestling podcast, I'm ashamed of you. I'm disappointed in you. You've made me sad, and the only way you can sort this out is by listening to
the Ministry of Wrestling podcast.
Do it now and subscribe. And do other things with the thing.
All right, thank you. Shut man.
Hey yo, how you doing, guys? It's me, the one AJ Anthony Jordan, representing that Ministry of Wrestling. And there's another PLE coming up, so you know what that means? We're here. Now, guys, I am going to put out an apology. We did miss the Forbidden Door pay-per-view prediction show. Why? It was recorded, time just got the better of us and we could not release it. But we are back, keeping the ball rolling, and we will release the results so you can keep tally of which member of the Ministry of Wrestling knows their wrestling. Also, fun fact, we brought back the Simon Miller video because that is celebrating 1 year. Yes, this time last year, Money in the Bank was in the UK, and we got a shout out from Mr. What Culture himself to represent the ministry. So thank you once again, Simon Miller, for that. Okay, guys, let's not waste any time. Let's go with the match predictions that the ministry dropped for the Bloodline versus Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. Who do we think will win? Let's have a look. Right, I'm calling this as match one of this pay-per-view because I think the Bloodline's going to be pretty active on this event, and this is going to be their first thing of their reign of dominance. So I believe they're gonna come out, they're gonna do their thing, they're gonna win. Jacob won't be in the match because if you know, you know. If he does come, it'll be amazing, and I'll be happy to see it. But I think we're going to see the original members of the new Bloodline come out and do their thing. Bit of New Japan flair in there. Who knows? Maybe Zilla will come out and others. But right now, I reckon it's going to be a match to actually show that the Bloodline can continue. It's not beta Bloodline. It's a new Bloodline who can do their thing. I know many people don't agree with that, and they do have a lot of work to go to prove that. Look, Solo beat Cena, but since then it's been kind of flat for him. So this is their chance to rebuild and show that they are something new. But look out for them more than one time tonight. I guarantee that. But yes, the Bloodline for the win. Cody can afford to lose because the champ is not defending his title. So yeah, Bloodline for the win. Double V picks the Bloodline, and in his words, not mine, the ball line / the yawn line for the win.
Well, Bloodline's still a thing. It's a new Bloodline, I'm guessing, so it's going to build to the original Bloodline coming back together, but this time as a face group going against the heel Bloodline, and Bloodline versus Bloodline, because it seems like that's the way they're going. So with this, they've got to keep the current Bloodline strong, and they have to win, because there's no other way around it. If they lose here, then there's no need for Bloodline versus Bloodline, and they just look like a bunch of wannabes. So my pick for this match is the Bloodline to win. Or whatever they call. I don't know why they just call them the New Bloods, Actually make the name did something good, not like the one they did in WCW. Anyway, Bloodline.
Now, this 6-man tag may be the one that steals the show, really. Because you have Cody Rhodes, you have Randy Orton, and you have Kevin Owens against Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tamatonga and Tangaloa, and this is going to be Jacob Fatu's first PLE, so for that I don't think it makes sense for him to lose. It was quite shocking that the King of the Ring went the way it did, but unfortunately it did, so now I think it's time to make it right. In a tag team situation, it doesn't put the champion down. It doesn't put any downers on him, so they can afford to lose the match, and Cody Rhodes doesn't necessarily need to be the one that loses the match. It could be Kevin Owens, it could be Randy Orton, it could be the reason why Randy Orton turns heel, it could be the reason why Kevin Owens turns heel. You never know. But for the first PLE, for Jacob Fatu, joining the Bloodline as well, so all together collectively as the Bloodline in their first PLE, including Jacob Fatu, without Paul Heyman, who knows? Maybe someone could show up as well. You never know. We could see him back, but it might be a little bit too soon with given events. Rest in peace. But yeah, I'm going to go Bloodline. I think it makes sense for the Bloodline to win here in order for the story to continue and make sense. So the winner for me, the Bloodline.
I think this match is probably for me going to be the match of the night, the most fun match of the night. What will more than likely be the main event, man. You know, the 6-man grandiose tag team with the new Bloodline taking on Cody and friends. And it's an interesting one because both teams stand a lot to win and a lot to lose in it, yeah, if their respective side takes the L or the W, yeah. But you cannot bring the new Bloodline together and make them lose already, man. Gosh, that's just gonna make them look totally weak. And people are already calling them, the beta Bloodline. I'm pretty sure maybe some people up in this part have said or showed their dismay for the new Bloodline. But if you want to establish them, a win here and a dominant win here at that will help them. So yeah, the Bloodline for the win. Where the losing team goes from here, which I reckon is going to be the good guys, I reckon this is going to fuel the fire directly into Randy Orton turning on Cody. Man, I've seen some of those side eyes, and let's not forget this man is a snake, a viper. So yeah, RKO incoming on Cody after that match. So hey, fun and games, man, but Bloodline for the win.
Acknowledge them. Irrelevant of which way you look, the entire ministry have gone for the Bloodline to win. So yes, guys, that's the one. Are we right? Are we wrong? Who knows? Comment below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Anyway, let's not waste any time. Let's go into match 2. Well, it may not be match 2, but we are talking the men's Money in the Bank. Who will be this year's Mr. Money in the Bank? Let's see which way the ministry voted. Double V takes the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre to be Mr. Money in the Bank.
Right. For this match, it's kind of hard to pick. Well, because I'm trying to predict the entire show and what should happen after, I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre to win. Best thing for that is if Drew wins, he could cash in that night. If this match opens, Drew's definitely winning, and he's winning the title that night. He's going to cash in on either Seth or Damien. I think it'd be great if he cashed against Seth and keep the trio with him and Punk and everything like that. Or he holds it long enough and do something to screw Punk. But yeah, give the belt to the greatest heel right now on the show. That's just killing it. That's been hilarious. Let him do it, because you can't just have Clash and him lose like that. Have him carry on with something. So yeah, Drew McIntyre to win this.
Now, this Money in the Bank is so interesting because we have such a dynamic. We got Chad Gable, we got Jey Uso, we got Drew McIntyre, we got Carmelo Hayes, we got a couple of other contestants that really have a chance of grabbing that briefcase and calling themselves Mr. or Senor Money in the Bank. You know, I really think Drew would be the one to get it, but I know CM Punk is once again going to screw him out of a championship match. That's a match in itself that's building. And obviously, what a way to culminate on the road to SummerSlam. So that leaves for me, instead of Money in the Bank, it's going to be Yeet in the Bank. It leaves 2 people that has a real chance of grabbing that briefcase, and that's Chad Gable and that's Jey Uso. Now, will the Wyatt Six get involved? That's another interesting feature. But as much as there's so many different possibilities as to who could win that match, for me, I'm actually going to be brave enough and say yeet. Mr. Yeet in the bank, Jey Uso is going to be Mr. Money in the Bank. So the winner of the match, Mr. Yeet Man, Mr. Main Event, Jey Uso.
Okay, so who's gonna win the Money in the Bank ladder match, man? Like, this one is pretty hard because there is like three strong candidates for me to walk away with it all this year, man. We got Jey Uso, he's on a hell of a roll, man. And like his reaction, he's up there with the very top baby faces, not just in WWE but in the entire industry. Man, you got LA Knight's doing his thing, like still. And to be honest, they've already set up a storyline where they might want to go with LA Knight. But hell, him holding the briefcase anyway, this kind of suits him. If you want to go on the heel side of things, yeah, Carmelo Hayes is actually a good choice as well, man, because his cockiness, his arrogance, like he would also suit being him. But I don't know if they're going to be ready in a year to crown him a world champion. But aside from all of them three, yeah, man, I mentioned Drew McIntyre as well, man. Taylor made like storyline waiting for him, one of the best feuds in wrestling going at the moment. But like I think we're gonna see CM Punk custom yet again, leading to their inevitable match in SummerSlam. So it ain't gonna be him. Who'd I go with? Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna go with Jey Uso. I know that sounds out there, but I just reckon like with the momentum he's got going behind him, I think they actually want to put the title on him. But I don't think he's gonna have a straight win. A heel won it last year. I feel this year they're probably gonna go with the face, and that face is Jey Uso.
For this match, I am predicting Interference Central, the Wyatt Six for Chad Gable, maybe CM Punk for Drew McIntyre. Carmelo Hayes probably will be okay unless Randy's going to come for him, but I doubt it. That's all done over with. But you're going to have Logan coming out for LA Knight. It's going to be literally building all the feuds that you can think of for SummerSlam. Ultimately, though, I find it very hard to predict who will be the champion, but there is one standout name, isn't there? And I think it's going to be a case of, I guarantee you, I will do to you what you done to me. Yes, El Campeon will probably have to face Drew McIntyre one more time. So I am going to go with Drew, even though I'm kind of open to the way that all the other contenders are like kind of fresh. But yeah, Drew McIntyre is too much of a standout on this one. But I will be very, very pleasantly surprised if someone else takes it. But I could just see feuds everywhere else. And I think it's too early for Carmelo to be the one to take it. So, yeah, I've got an alternative, but to go for Drew McIntyre. And yeah, Andrade, I didn't forget you, bro. Just don't know who's going to go for you. So, Drew McIntyre for the win. It's got to be Drew. It's got to be Drew. Like, yeah, look, Jey was very, very, very nearly coming out of my mouth, but I do believe that it makes sense for the rematch. It makes sense that he's hungry. He's going to cash in on the night. Drew McIntyre for the win. And I need the points, so please make it be Drew Triple H. Anyway, we move on. It's now time for the Intercontinental title to be defended with homegrown Sami Zayn, your current champion, versus Mr. NXT, Mr. Steiner, doing his thing. Braun Breaker, one-on-one for the IC title. Which way did the guys vote? Let's have a look.
Sammy, love you, bro, but what have you done for me lately? Absolutely nothing. Give it to that guy, Braun Breaker, because, Jesus, you're just... Like, Steiner, call him Braun Steiner. I don't know, call him something Steiner, man, because he's a Steiner. But Braun Breaker is going to win this because, damn, that man is something else. When he runs the ropes and... Anyway, give it to him. Make another dominant champion. Don't have to keep the belt for too long, but make it a champion that actually just dominate and not one just holding on. If not, Sammy gonna do Sammy. But yeah, keep winner of this match, Braun Breaker. Yeah, I'm taking a risk. Braun Breaker, gotta do it.
Now for me, this is a tough one. This is a really tough one. The Intercontinental Championship match. Sami Zayn could really put a feather in his cap here if he pulls one over Braun Breaker, but Braun Breaker has just been knocking him down left, right, and center. I mean, like, he's the new Goldberg, he's the new dad, he's the new uncle. He's literally just killing it right now. And okay, he missed King of the Ring, and he's made that point very clear. So put the title in him, I'd say. It's so hard. It's so hard because it could go either way. Sami Zayn could retain the title, but what else is he gonna do with it? This whole story of wanting to prove himself. He's done it so many times. He's done it back to back at WrestleMania. So what more does he need to prove to us? He doesn't really need to prove anything else. Whereas an up-and-coming star, newly fresh from the NXT roster, he's doing things, he's proving things, he's got the crowd on his side. So now I think it's time to put the belt on him, make him do something with that title. The next person who's going to be hard to beat for that title isn't going to be Sami Zayn. I think it's going to be Braun Breaker. So I'm going to put my coins in Braun Breaker. So your new Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker.
I personally enjoyed the matches that Sammy has had as Intercontinental Champion. I do think that Chad Gable should have got the better of him, and he should have lost the belt that way. But I guess they just didn't think that Chad was worthy of that little spot. Maybe he will be in the future. Who knows? Yeah. But for now, as we can see, Braun Breaker has been on a tear. I guess it's what you can say one of the rare times that NXT call-up has been done kind of right. We'll see where it goes. But either way, he's been brought up, he looks dangerous, he looks unstoppable, and I don't think Sami Zayn is going to be the person to stop Braun Breaker here. So, yeah, we don't need no long-ass reign in it from Sami Zayn as champion. So, yeah, it is time to switch the titles, man, and Braun Breaker going to be the new champion.
If there's a match that's going to cost me, it's going to be this one. I can feel it. I can feel it. Because ultimately, I believe the IC title has had an amazing run with Gunther. We've had Sammy defeat Chad, and he's even beaten Bronson Reed. So he's had the triple threat, he's had the singles, and he's moving on. And essentially, really, he should go on to a continuing dominance. And then we should say, oh, but Canada, he's owed he's victory in Canada, because the last time it was here, Roman destroyed him and he didn't win the title. But I said that stuff about Drew McIntyre at Clash. Now, I'm not going to use the history to repeat itself, but what I would like to say is Braun Breaker is on a tier. This guy is a former NXT champ, and I think this is what we need as not only as a workhorse, because Sammy's a workhorse, no doubt, but to put some new life into the company. So yes, I know most people are going to go Sammy, and I'm going to regret it. And guess what? Mr. Last Place will remain in last place with this, but I'm going to take a risk, and I'm going to say Braun Breaker for the win, because you know what? He deserves it. And let's see him versus Sheamus for the title. Let's get it, because Sheamus deserves his Grand Slam, but Braun Breaker for the win. Double V picks Sami Zayn to retain the Intercontinental title in Canada at Money in the Bank. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I thought I was the man alone, but it's Double V. So currently we all think the Bloodline's going to win. There's a bit of a split when it comes to the men's Money in the Bank, and now it looks like everyone's gone for Braun except Double V. Is he going to be the fortunate one? He's always said never bet against Sammy on a pay-per-view. Now we're talking about betting against Sammy on a pay-per-view or PLE in Canada. He might be the right guy. He might be going to get the bonus point, but I hope not, because I really, really need the points. If you've been watching, I'm dead last. The video just said it. I'm dead last. So I feel sorry for anyone who's paired up with me. But hey, this is my birthday month. This should be my time. Also, shout out to Dender Tech. It's Dender Tech's birthday today. So yeah, if you're watching this, forget your prediction comments. Comment down below. Big up. Happy birthday to the man they call Dender Tech. Dender Tech, happy birthday to you, my brother. I've done it on a Sammy match. I know you like a bit of Sammy. And there's no Bailey this week, so I can't help you there. Okay, talking of Bailey, someone could be challenging her for the women's title. And who will it be? Well, I don't know. They may actually go the other way. They may go for Liv Morgan, because we are talking the women's Money in the Bank. How did we vote? Let's have a look.
Now, the women's Money in the Bank briefcase match is even more interesting. But there's not much to deliberate so deeply like the men's Money in the Bank briefcase match. Although they pushed Lyra Valkyria for the Queen of the Ring, I think her push is not exactly done, but I don't think they're going to continue it here. Although it's going to be very close. I would love for it to be Naomi, but I don't think it's going to be Naomi. I don't think it's going to be Zoe Stark. I don't even think it's going to be Chelsea Green. For me, I think this is the time to push, Miss Princess, Miss Tiffany Stratton. And if they're going to push her, now's the time to do it. So for me, without going into too much deliberation, I think the winner of the match here is going to be Tiffany Stratton.
Okay, so for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, it's also interesting as well. We've got a couple of candidates. People are saying online that Naomi is a possible candidate, or this hugging up Bailey and everything. She's gonna get the briefcase and betray her, become the champion. But I don't think that's where we're going here. Yeah, I think none other than Tiffany Stratton is going to be the one to get the case, because they've already pre-set up the storyline of an alliance between her and Nia Jax. And I think Nia is very well going to beat Bailey and become champion at SummerSlam. So now we've got that sort of intensity storyline between the two. Will she, won't she? Probably made for a few comical moments as well of Tiffany Stratton, like, aligning herself with Nia Jax. Is she going to cash in on her at her weakest moment? Is she brave enough? And if she does, man, the fallout from that is going to be crazy. But yeah, Tiffany Stratton for the win.
Deep in my heart, I want the answer to be Zoe Stark, but that's not going to happen. I know. Chelsea Green would be a very interesting commodity. Look, she's got a lot of years behind her. Naomi is purely there as a highlight reel, I'm aware. And then that leaves us with Io, who won last year, back to back, maybe. But the thing is, she had a solid run. So I don't see that happening there. So then we're down to the two NXT call-ups. Lyra Valkyria, who had her moment at King and Queen of the Ring, but lost, or Tiffany Stratton, who also had a very good moment leading up to Elimination Chamber. So it's down between these two ladies. It's good to see fresh talent. No outright winner, and even the ones that should be outright winners, we kind of feel like they're not going to be there. Credit to both Money in the Banks for that one, but I'm going to go with the judgment call that's in my head, and just seeing the buzz that's around her right now. Again, I'm very unsure about both these ladder matches, but I'm going to go for Tiffany Stratton to be your new Miss Money in the Bank. I think we're going to see a lot of gimmick briefcase stuff and all that going on with her as well. So yeah, Tiffany Stratton for the win. But again, I'll be pleasantly surprised if anyone else wins. So best of luck, but it's Tiffy time. It's Tiffy time as Double V picks Tiffany Stratton to be this year's Miss Money in.
I ain't gonna lie. I had to look up the members in this match. I was gonna go with the one that won last time. No, almost at Kairi Sane. It's the ex-champion from the women's title. I was gonna go for that person last time, but I had to change my plan because everyone who I know who watch wrestling has been talking about Tiffany Stratton's to win. So as much as I don't know, I'm just hearing everyone chatting about her. Well, everyone, the two dudes I work with. So yeah, they've changed my mind. Thank you, Kieran. I'm going with Tiffany Stratton to win the women's match. If they don't, because me, I'd have gone for Naomi or someone that's I know, but sticking with Tiffany Stratus or whatever it is. Sorry about that. Is going to win this one.
So the ministry are back in unison, and we're all saying Tiffany Stratton. Fun fact, there is this little niggling feeling that tells me it should be Chelsea Green. But yeah, thank you, Leon Simsy there for that one. Also, guys, I've done the big shout out to Den. Also, need to put a shout out to Double V. You are not seeing him on video currently because he is Daddy 2. It's Daddy V right now. it's double daddy right now. So yeah, he's still doing some paternity stuff. So that's why he's on a bit of a break. But the ministry continues. Okay, guys. Now for the final match, I call this main event because I think the men's Money in the Bank will impact the world's title match. It's time for the inaugural world heavyweight champion, Seth frickin' Rollins, to take on not the man who defeated him, but the man who's had the second longest run of this title, El Campeon, Damian Priest. And will the man who won it in between come back to regain what should be rightfully his, in his mind anyway? Your opinions matter. Comment below. Yes, it's Damian Priest versus Seth frickin' Rollins for the world heavyweight title. Which way did the guys vote? Let's have a look.
So yeah, man, I definitely think Damian Priest's title reign has picked up of late, man. The last couple of months, they're finally using him to do like big stuff in it, like big storylines, and this is gonna be an excellent match and probably one of the most signature wins. That's right, I said wins for Damian Priest as champion because we all love Seth, but Seth doesn't really need to be near a world title for quite some time. And that's why they put this whole stipulation in place where as long as Priest is champion, he can't challenge. Because there ain't no way that Priest is leaving Judgment Day just like that so simply. Nah, man. Priest is gonna get kicked out, he's gonna get betrayed, and him and Rhea eventually gonna have to team up against the new Judgment Day, whatever shape or form that takes. But yeah, for now, Priest will continue to be world heavyweight champion.
Is the world ready for a Judgment Day that would be JD, Finn, and Dom, and possibly Liv? No. Seth has just come back, which is awesome to see. Probably a bit earlier than expected, but the injury lists be what they are. He's probably the quickest to have healed. This also helps solidify Damian. We've done the transitional champ, thought about it, and it's clear that the company are going to try and build him, and he's actually doing pretty well. Drew being Clash made me think they might have cut it short, but I'm going to go for a bit more of a run on this. So Seth has held this title. He was the inaugural champ. He's done what he's done. Let's show that we can move past the regular guys holding titles. So I'm going to go for it. El Campeon remains. Going back on a previous prediction, Drew McIntyre will probably be Mr. Money in the Bank. Will waste no time in trying to cash in. And once again, CM Punk will waste no time in trying to interfere. So I'm going to go with Damian Priest to retain and a cash in. Not that leads to a point, though I can deal with it. And yeah, he's going to walk out of Canada as your champion. Damian Priest for the win. Double V picks El Campeon, Damian Priest, to retain the world's heavyweight title. Side note, like me, he also calls a CM Punk interference on a Drew McIntyre cash-in. Whether that's for Drew actually cashing in or just stopping the cash-in is to be confirmed, but Double V believes either way, Damian Priest is still your world heavyweight champion.
Yeah, my pick for this match all depends on the placement of the match, but I've got to give a prediction now. So I've been jumping back and forth. Seth will come in, win, but then the winner of if the men's Money in the Bank goes first or go before this one, the winner comes in and cashes straight away on Seth. But if not, then Damian Priest keeps the belt and it's just Damian Priest still. I think there's a clause about Judgment Day or whatever it is, but of course I'm in two minds because there's only two members in the two opponents. I'm gonna say Damian Priest. Damian Priest retains the title and Seth loses only because we got SummerSlam and got stuff like that coming up. We could do a three-way or something like that. So yeah, Damian to win.
This World Heavyweight Championship match is going to be a whole nother level. And this time, I don't think Drew McIntyre is going to get involved in this one. I think this is going to be more of the Judgment Day getting involved. And if Damian Priest loses, he has to leave the Judgment Day. Now, as much as there's been signs of him leaving and him wanting to be his own man, and it would probably be interesting of the Judgment Day costing him the match and then he has to leave. But I think it's going to be more of a thing of like they nearly cost him, but then he wins. But now he's got something to have against the Judgment Day, and like he leaves anyways. But it's going to be of his own accord. I don't think it's going to be by force. So as much as Seth Rollins is back and everyone's excited and like, you know, he's saying he needs that title back, I think there might be something that kind of prevents him from winning. So although they may nearly cost Judgment Day, they may nearly cost Damian Priest the title, effectively they will also cost Seth Rollins the title as well, or maybe somebody else, who knows? Because I don't think some stories are finished with Seth Rollins as well, with some other people. So who knows who may show up? The Wyatt Six may even show up for him as well. So still, your world heavyweight champion, El Campeon, Damian Priest.
Okay. So it looks like we all believe El Campeon will be El Campeon to close Money in the Bank, or somewhere along the lines of Money in the Bank. You could kind of understand Den's logic there. It all depends where the match goes, which makes a lot of sense. But either way, Damian for the win and to keep the run going. Seth, you had a freaking good run. Let someone else hold that belt for a bit. Okay, guys. Who did you agree with? Who did you disagree with? Comment down below. Would love to know. Again, check out the other stuff from the ministry. We'd like some interaction. It's been a bit slow. Look, there's daddy duties, there's work duties. It's not a full-time job for us just yet. God willing, it will be. But guys, every time we get to interact with you, we enjoy it. Fun fact, we were down at Riot Cabaret the other day. Good to see some culture. We're going to be down at Ignite Wrestling down in Boreham Wood next week Sunday. So if you are looking out for the UK indie wrestling scene, hit us up, talk to us. We've had people do it and we love it. We recognize people, we hit them up. That's what the IWC is all about. It's not all that toxic. No. It's connecting. You love wrestling, we love wrestling. Let's talk wrestling. So guys, until the next time, I am the one AJ representing Ministry of Wrestling, and I will see you soon because we are out. See ya.